And your weekend starts here at Old Trafford with the unveiling of Raphael Varane, the new signing at Manchester United. This one has taken so long to get over the line. Only yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that it's not 100% done. But as you can see, now it is. Listen to that applause.
Squad and our newest friend, Raphael Varane.
I think that's what you call a good reception, Joe.
Unbelievable, Jake. Unbelievable. I mean, this is very smart by Solskjaer. When you want to unveil and get the crowd going, unveil a big star like Raphael Varane, you do it right now. These fans are off their seat. And it's going to, like I said earlier, it's going to be electric the first 10-15 minutes of this game.
And Rio, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been in 4 semi-finals and a final and not won any of them. This man is a proven winner time and time again.
Well, the simple stat is he's played in 14 finals and won 14 finals, so he knows exactly what he's doing in that situation. And I think that's a big thing for Man United. Get into situations where the pressure's on and being able to deal with it. They can look to this type of leader.
Look at that, out comes the phone. Social media straight away, Rio. Brilliant. Wonderful. He's won the World Cup. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won titles. In fact, Rio, I think he's going to come over and say hello to you from one centre-half to another. Can I just...
Hey. Good luck, my bro. Good luck, okay? Win. Good luck. I'll switch it out.
Rio, where was the question?
Pardon?
That was your moment. That was your moment.
You got to keep it simple in these situations. Let him be the man. He's a star.
Well, I think we heard what you said. Win. Yeah. It doesn't get more simple than that, right?
Exactly. That's what it's about, winning.
Hard to do. What a special moment, though, Joe. If you want to get, as you said, if you want to get this crowd ready for a new season, that's not a bad way to do it.
It might be the heir apparent to Rio Ferdinand. Has not been a player of Rio's class to play in that position. What I would say is that the suit's a lot better than what Rio wore when he signed.
No, listen, you can feel the energy in this place now. We've been waiting for it. Everyone we've known, there's been no fans, but to have someone like that come in and open up your airways when you see a superstar like that come in, a genuine winner, beautiful.
Just to be clear, there are rules at Premier League grounds. We had to leave pitch side, but you can obviously do what you like, yeah?
It's because I run this place. No, you know what? It's a love affair here with this stadium, with these people that have been working here 30, 40 years, common in this place. So listen, let's go. I can't wait to get started.
And your weekend.
Sean back a lacquer, Glenn. Win. Oh, unreal scenes, man. Unreal.
I got chills yesterday, Rory. I did. I fucking did. It was blatant. It was just unexpected, wasn't it, Luke? I mean, it's not as if like, fans back in the stadium and like the fans were unreal that were in the stadium yesterday. But if anything was to get them to be up for it even more, was Varane coming out onto the pitch, and even the way he walked out with that little bit of swagger and all, you know what I mean? And that deadly looking suit he had on, you know what I mean? Fitted perfectly on him. That chap's going to be a machine.
Taking selfies, man. The confidence out of him. You can just
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was brilliant, that was, man. Yeah.
What a way to bring him in, I have to say now. So, first game of the season, Glenn, we're back with a bang, aren't we?
Rory, it was unbelievable, it was, yeah. And I mean, look, you're looking at Leeds and you know like what Leeds play like under Bielsa. They go full throttle all the time, you know what I mean? So you sort of thought that there was going to be goals in there. But I thought we were absolutely excellent yesterday, you know what I mean? For every man on the pitch yesterday was brilliant, I thought, you know what I mean? And you're looking at, again, just at Varane coming in, it's competition for places now. So it was unbelievable, really, you know what I mean? And it's what you want. It's to just send out that statement of intent. Like the difference from this season, the start of this season to last season, like the opener last season, you know what I mean? No fans in the stadium last season. We looked flat. We ended up getting beaten in the end by Palace, you know what I mean? I don't think we ever would have won that game in a million years. You know what I mean? If we're still playing it today, I don't think we would have won that game against Palace. But then this season, then with chalk and cheese, like, you know, so
unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. To be honest, I was lost for words after, you know, Bruno getting the hat-trick, getting that third goal, man. It was just like, this is exactly how we want to start this season. And
it looked like Bruno was a man on a mission. He didn't really get treated that well. in the Euros by Portugal. He like, I mean, I don't mean that in a way like that he was, treated badly in terms of, is off the pitch, but on the pitch he didn't really get, the manager wasn't picking him. He started a couple of times on the bench and everything, and for someone like us watching on as United fans and Bruno fans, it was mad to see that Bruno wasn't starting in a major tournament like that. But it looked like he just, he loved the fans being in the stadium, and it just clicked straight away, really. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about his his first goal I thought was excellent. His movement, his runs in behind, the ball in from Podga. And as you mentioned, the third goal, Lordy, man, even the way he hit that, he sort of caught that with his laces. And I was saying this to Ray last night. Ray was saying to me, caught it with his laces, and then it was like he caught it with the side of his foot as well. Like, do you know what I mean? It was great.
It was. But back to Varane, man. It's a big signing, and we have something here. So Manchester United is one of the most iconic clubs in the world football, and the chance to come here and play in the Premier League is something I couldn't turn down. So that's the words from the man himself, and you can see a whopper picture there of him holding the jersey and that big smile that you're talking about, Glenn. To be honest, we getting Varane in and we having Sancho, like it's good for us, isn't it? After
it feels different, Rory. It feels different. That's what it is. Like, you're looking at Varane there, out on the pitch, getting photos taking selfies and all that for his Instagram thing. We've come a long way since the time we were announcing Alexis Sanchez playing piano and everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, just bring a big, huge, major signing out onto the pitch. I don't know. Look, I can't remember of my time supporting United a signing coming out onto the pitch. I know Brian Robson was signed on the pitch with Ron Atkinson and all, and Martin Edwards. In 1981, I know that, but I don't know, or I can't remember anyone coming on like the way Varane did yesterday. You know what I mean? And you could just see what it did for the crowd and what it'll do for him. He knows what he's walking into now. He would have felt the love, but I'm sure he would have felt the weight of expectation as well. Everyone knows that we should be winning trophies and winning titles, and I'm sure he felt that in a good way yesterday when he came out onto the pitch, and you could just see the way Ferdinand was going on about him and everything. Coming over, Ferdinand had shown him that respect. You could see BT wanted an interview or a few words from Varane. They sort of put that on Rio, and Rio just said to him, win, win, win. And that's him telling them and letting them know this is what you have to do at this club. The expectations are huge on Varane, but I'm telling you, something to me felt real different. And I know it's the first game of the season. I'm probably getting a little bit carried away, but something different. Something feels different.
I think it's a good move even for Varane's mentality, because we're telling them we are this huge club. Here's 60,000+ fans cheering for you. So, you know what I mean? You're going to provide. But it's not that he doesn't have to fight for his place. I mean, Lindelof had a good Euros. He's now the captain of Sweden. Varane's coming in as number 19. And Lindelof played well yesterday. You could say he played better than Maguire, to be honest.
Yeah, Rory, and that's the thing. That's what you want. You don't want to see players like Lindelof seeing Varane coming in and, putting their heads between their legs and being like, oh, that's it, unfinished. Varane's come in. You want them to turn around and say, you know what, I have to up my game now to prove that I deserve to be in the team. And I really don't expect Varane and Maguire to play every game in the league, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, all that sort of stuff. So you're looking for the likes of, Lindelof and Bally even to come in and be able to stake a claim when they do get that chance. But it's all about creating competitions. And when we've been our most successful, we've always had that. We've always had players that could come in and do a job. And just, Varane is a huge signing, Roddy, worldwide, because you just heard it there in that clip. Like, what was it? He's played 14 finals and won 14. And that's unbelievable. So, you know what you're getting. And it just, you're always hearing these little sayings about Ollie being a PE teacher and he's not going to attract the big players and all. Well, Ollie definitely had something to do with Varane coming in, and whatever Ollie was saying to Varane obviously liked, you know what I mean, and picked us. Yeah. And I just can't wait to see him. Yeah.
And I think where the Premier League is at the moment with the class of manager that we have there, in the different teams where we're attracting a lot of big European names. Yeah. But even getting Sancho in, I know Sancho came on, maybe didn't show his complete worth, but he only got that 20 minutes or so.
20 minutes, yeah.
But I think Varane is good for Pogba as well. I think having another French player there that he's, playing with a fair amount of time with France. I think it'll maybe steady him, give him a bit of confidence behind him that he knows that he has a bit of communication there, you know. And Pogba had some game. You know what I mean? He made history there. He made the history books with his 4 assists, Glenn. And I know you are probably biting at it.
No, look, I've given Pogba nothing but stick, Rory. I have, right? Loads of times. But come here and I tell you, if he wants to pull out that type of performance week in, week out, great. Go ahead. I'll happily eat me words, no problem. Look, I know you're not going to, you know, get 4 assists in one game. Like a lot of the times, you're probably not going to do that. But I mean, the fact that you could see that anytime he got on the ball, he was looking for Bruno, he was looking for them runs in behind, he was looking for Greenwood and everything. And if you get a couple of them in a game, then you're like, right, Grant. You can forgive then maybe the defensive side of the game that he's not so good at. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, there was a chance where he went through on goal, done a step over.
Yeah.
I went down. It would have been lovely if it went in. When it didn't, I was thinking to myself, that's probably not the player you wanted to miss that chance. First big chance of the season. And it fell to Pogba and he didn't put it in. And I thought then maybe because he didn't play that well against Everton in the pre-season, I know it's only pre-season, it was first game back. And the fact that he missed that it might, you know, drag him down a little bit. But he was unbelievable. And I know what, 4 assists. But you look at the assist for Greenwood, for the second goal for Greenwood. That was the pick of the bunch for me in terms of the ball he played in. Because not just the weight of it, Rory, it was the fact that he bent it around and everything, just straight onto it for Greenwood to run onto it and everything. It was unbelievable. So I'm not going to, I won't slaughter Pogba this week because I can't. But as I said, I'm happy to eat my own words if he's going to put in performances like that week in, week out.
And Glenn, that's all you said last year, it was a problem of consistency. I suppose I know he's a world-class player, but it's his consistency in bringing that performance to the pitch, which was getting under my skin, you know. It really was, now I have to say. But now you brought up a few statistics there if you want to go through them, Glenn. So they're running across the end of the screen there.
It's just basically, Rory, it's just, look, we've scored 5 goals in 5 games since Alex Ferguson retired, and it's all been under Ollie. So we're definitely getting that United feel-good factor, you know, attack sort of stuff back into us. We're getting a DNA back, and it's been building slowly but surely. I know we played the 4-2-3-1 yesterday, and there was all the talk about, you know, probably playing 4-3-3 for the season. But even with the formation we played yesterday, like when you have runners from midfield, Rory, you're going to score goals. Do you know what I mean? And Leeds struggled to pick up on that yesterday. Yeah. So you know, hats off to Ollie for what he's done. You know, yesterday in particular, and long may it continue, really.
Yeah. Now, Glenn, you say that, like, I suppose they gave Pogba a bit of leeway. He could kind of go and do what he wanted, and I think that suits him very well. Like, you'd see the positions he was taking up and where he was picking up the ball. But then I was worried at the start of the game, and I would be worried going through into the season with the McTominay or the McFred setup. Now, McTominay played great. Did really push the ball forward, which we maybe didn't see. And Fred got that goal. I think Meslier maybe should have got that coming down the centre of the goal at pace still, but I mean,
doesn't matter, Rory. You went in. Stop sticking up for Leeds there, will you? Went in. Fair play to Fred. He got on the end of it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But I think we need to advance from the McFred situation. So we will be kind of worried seeing that if we keep seeing it creeping into every game, and we can't like diversify our midfield. That centre back role, or centre defence midfield.
Yeah, but you know what, Roddy, it is. I think if you want it, you'd love to go 4-3-3, and I think McTominay could play that number 6 role. Number 6 role, the holding midfield role. I think he would do that. His distribution's good. He's definitely come on physically. You've seen he looks a bit leaner, a bit bigger. But you know, from talking to Ray, and that Ray was saying that, you know, when it comes to them big games, maybe the later rounds of the Champions League and everything, that he wouldn't mind seeing McFred, you know, sitting in front, protecting the back four. And on yesterday's evidence, you turn around, you say, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't think any attacking team wants to see, two sitting midfielders. Like, but I think there's a lot of talk about bringing in an extra midfielder in. Roy Keane's been saying that he feels like we're a little bit light in there, and maybe we are. But I think McTominay has a huge season ahead of him. You know what I mean? I think he improved massively last season, probably tailed off a little bit near the end of the season, maybe I'd say the last 10 games.
I thought that with a lot of the players, though.
Yeah.
A bit of fatigue creeping in there. But you're right, he's on form for the start of the season. And I suppose...
I mean, look at his interceptions yesterday, Roddy. He brought play up a lot yesterday, he did. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really give the ball away or anything. The positions he took up on the pitch were good. And he did look to get forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, he had a chance there in the first half as well. Maybe, probably should have took the shot a little bit earlier and didn't. But, he wanted to get forward as well. Like, so you can't really complain, really. Do you know that way? But I'm looking forward to seeing what McTominay can give us this season. I think it's a huge season for him. For us and for him.
And well, I was kind of more talking about McFred's setup. McTominay, I am excited to see, but the McFred setup. So you haven't mentioned Fred, Glenn, so I want to hear your opinion on Fred.
I thought Fred done all right yesterday, already. Yeah, I think the whole team done all right.
Yeah.
I think it's when you look at Leeds and how they set up, as I said, they're relentless. They keep just pushing forward. I think both McTominay and Fred dealt with that very well. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I thought Fred's distribution, which can be shambolic at times, was excellent yesterday, I thought. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he rounded it off with a goal. But again, it's more like when you look at Fred, I said to you before, I like his energy, I like his tenacity. Yeah. I'd like to see him maybe pushed further up the pitch, maybe out onto that left-hand side if we're ever struggling. Yeah, I would, yeah.
But he plays.
I'll go with what Ray said to me, Roddy.
He plays that left role with Brazil, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
But he doesn't play high. He doesn't play high up the pitch.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, he's not up there for Brazil putting balls into the box. Could be wrong on that one now, Glenn, but I still don't see where Fred fits in. If you look at that goal for Leeds, and it's only one goal. What was it, 1-1 then? So
1-1.
Yeah, so it shouldn't have happened really. But if you see what talking about Podga in his defensive role, he didn't get back quick enough.
No, we let him run off him. He ran off Podga. That's the thing.
So did Fred. Fred was there as well. Podga should have probably not been in that position. Should have been Fred there, and he should have been tracking. That's early on in the game to be conceding the goal. You know what I mean? So we're lucky that we kind of had the energy to go on and win it.
But Roddy, I just got to say something you did when you're talking about the Leeds goal.
Yeah.
If you have players taking shots where Aylan took that shot from yesterday, as a defensive setup, you'd be happy for that. You'd be thinking, if people are taking shots from that distance, then we're doing something right. That's what I'd be thinking.
You reckon?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think so. I mean,
2 or 3
what
yards
would you prefer? What?
2 or 3 yards outside the box?
Nah, it wasn't 2 or 3 yards outside the box, Roddy. It wasn't 2 or 3 yards. It was about 10 yards outside the box.
10?
Yeah, it was about 10 yards outside the box, yeah.
No, man. You going to Specsavers or what?
Yeah, Roddy, let me tell you something. If I'm the Gea in goal, I want shots coming from a distance. It was just unfortunate yesterday for us that it was such a great strike, a clean strike. Do you know what I mean? It left the Gea with no chance. I get what you're saying. Pogba let him go. Fred didn't cover across.
I don't know, Glenn. There's some serious talent in the Premier League that can take shots from around that area that people you wouldn't want to be taking shots. And that's where
I get that, man.
Centre defence midfielders, like those shots should not be coming in. And that's what I think they do. And Pogba was closest to him, and Fred wasn't. Now, the rest of the game was great, so I can't just focus on that one mishap. It's going to happen in games, and they got a goal from it. So I'm not going to go into the negatives straight away in the start of the season when we won 5-1. You know what I mean?
Here's a positive for you, Roddy. Here's a positive for you. 4 minutes later, we went back into the lead.
Exactly.
Now, if you're comparing things like seasons, like you look back at last season, if something like that probably happened at home, we would struggle to get back into the game. Do you know what I mean? If we're winning 1-0, a goal like that goes in, because during them 4 minutes, Leeds seem to be having the better of the play. We looked a little bit.
The start last season really great start as well, Glenn. 6-2 against Leeds.
But that wasn't last. That was the middle of the season, Roddy. I mean, the start of the season last season was was poor, man. You know what I mean? Getting beaten by Crystal Palace and all that, it wasn't great. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about home games here. And last season, if you know that had happened in a home game, we would have struggled maybe to get back into it. You know, 4 minutes later, Podga puts that ball into Greenwood. We take the lead, and then within 5 minutes, we 4-1 up. You know, that's what I was delighted with yesterday, and I'm hoping we can sort of
and talking about the goals there, I suppose Bruno Fernandes was on fire, Glenn. Absolutely on fire, like you mentioned earlier, and those goals, and he made history.
Yeah,
so he made history. What was the history, Glenn? You tell me.
He's the first United player to score a hat-trick on the opening day of the season in the Premier League. You know, I know Lou McCarthy done it in the, you know, years ago in the Division 1 and all that. But in the Premier League, it's Bruno's the first United player to get a hat-trick in the opening game. And I mean, what a hat-trick it was. You know what I mean? His first goal, the run, the ball in by Podga, the control by Bruno, and he just buried it. He didn't give the keeper got a touch on it. I don't think the keeper really knew too much about it, but I went straight in. Then you're looking at a second goal, the fact that he was able to feint the shot, have players on the line, and still find a way. Yeah, still have the audacity to find or to get the ball over the line. And then, as we touched on, his hat trick, great ball by Lindelof. You know what I mean? That's what you want to see. Kind of defenders pick balls out like that. Great run, just on side. And unbelievable finish. And I mean, look at, you know, the Old Trafford erupting for all the goals. You know what I mean? When you see the pictures of them celebrating and everything, you know, fans are obviously going mad. But there was a great one where it was Bruno's second goal. He runs over to the fans. He slides on his knees, puts his hands up the way he does it. And then you see Podga running over and he does the Bruno celebration. And then Bruno looks at the fans as he's hugging Podga. Podga has his back to the fans, so you can just see Pogba's name on the back of the jersey, and Bruno's pointing at Podga to the fans. You know what I mean? To say, look, this is the man here. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the things you love to see Bruno doing. He's letting the fans know, look, this fella needs the love, and we want to stay. So it was just great all around, Roddy.
Yeah, it was electric, Glenn, having the fans there, and I hope that kind of becomes addictive. Even for the players, you know what I mean? They want that. That's what they want. They want to hear the fans, you know, shouting.
Yeah, and Roddy, I was thinking, I want the fans to be like that. I want Old Trafford to be a place you go there, and it's, you know, obviously, you know, you look at years gone past, you know, the atmosphere hasn't been that great, really. Yeah, for the big games, yeah, it is. But when you look at some of the smaller clubs coming, you know, it does be a little bit quiet. Not as you know, atmospheric as you'd want it. But I think yesterday, if the fans in the stadium can keep them levels up all through the season, it's definitely going to drag the team over the line in games that we mightn't be playing at our best. Do you know that way? But I'm thinking, you know, yesterday was a great result, but I think there's still another 30% to come from us. I really do.
You know? Like Sancho, like once he gets going, Glenn, you know, and it was a bit unfortunate for me because I'm such a big fan of Van der Beek, but didn't get on. But I'm hoping there's a place for him there at some point. Maybe it's in the League Cup or something. But you know, we saw a lot of work done on him over the summer. He seemed quite enthusiastic. There was all these rumours going around that Van der Beek's part of all these big plan. But you know, then he doesn't start. But I suppose you do have to give Sancho his minutes. And the fans want to see that. And that's what it was all about at that point, I think. You know, but I would like to see him come in. We don't know where he fits in, Glenn. You know, if Pogba's on fire, Bruno's on fire, like you're not going to bring Van der Beek in.
Yeah, Roddy, but look, you have to be able to come on and take your opportunities. Van der Beek, if you're to believe the rumours that were going around at a couple of clubs in from this summer, he's come out, his agent come out and says that he wants to go and fight for his place at United. They're great things. That's what you want to hear. To be easy, just to come out and say, listen, it hasn't worked out here, I'll move on somewhere else. He obviously feels like he's at the best club for him at the moment. Yeah, when Pogba is on fire, when Bruno's on fire, it's hard for him to get in. But I do want them, and I do want Dolly to give him an opportunity. And I don't just mean 10 minutes, 20 minutes here and there. And but Van der Beek has to take that as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, as we've said last season, as we've said 100 times before, last season we didn't utilise the whole squad. That's the way we felt about it. Ollie didn't utilise the squad. Now we have a squad. We have strength and depth, really. You know what I mean? More than we had last season. So these players have to be given that chance, and they have to go and take them. But you know, some players are not going to take it the first go around. Do you know what I mean? That's not necessarily mean that they played bad. Do you know what I mean? But they probably haven't done what the likes of Podga done yesterday or what Bruno done. But they've just ramped the pressure up on the likes of Van der Beek in terms of what they did yesterday and how hard it is to be going in. I'm not a turnaround. I don't know what Van der Beek was like when the goals were going in, but you know, somewhere deep down, you're probably thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm probably feeling the best I've ever felt. And these have come into the team, and you know, one scores a hat trick and one sets up 4 goals. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I do expect Van der Beek to get a chance, and I do expect them to take. I wanted to walk out for him, just because there's been players that come into the club before already that it hasn't worked out for. Di Maria is a prime example. Came in, left a year later. You know what I mean? Wasn't for him. You don't like to see that, and I just like the way Van der Beek has treated the club with respect. He hasn't come out, said anything about the club when it wasn't going well from last season. His agent didn't do that. So, you know, let's hope that he can break into the team somewhere. But again, I think if we're going to do well this season, we're going to have to utilise the whole squad. So he definitely will get his chance.
Yeah, and talking about players getting that chance, I suppose James got his chance maybe there yesterday, and it could be his only chance given that Sancho might come in quite quickly once Rashford comes back. Places are going quick, you know, Cavani's there. Didn't do great, Glenn. He did, like he was good to have with his speed down that right wing. But some of maybe the decision making he had.
He had a few chances early on, Rory.
Yeah.
Just, you know, he took that extra touch. He the strike from just inside the box as well, coming in from the left hand side.
Over left that one.
I just feel like that sometimes, Rory, that he will frustrate you in terms of, like, you know, he'll get down the byline, he probably won't be able to get it in all the time, or he'll find himself, you know, in the box and won't get the shot off that he wants to get off, or that you'd expect him to get off. I think he's always going to be that you know, frustration type of figure. But I mean, the pace he has, you know, that Leeds game suited him yesterday. I would not expect him now to start against Southampton now next week. I wouldn't, because you feel like Southampton to be sitting in and trying to stop us from playing, really. Do you know what I mean? Because Southampton don't look like they're in the strongest position they've been in. And so I wouldn't expect him to start. So games like when teams are going to open up against you, I think James will do well in. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he played bad, Rory. I don't. Do you know what I mean? I think he contributed. I don't think anyone really done that bad yesterday. I mean, I think they were all had good performances. Some better than others, obviously. But I wouldn't say that he was bad. You know what I mean? It's just his end product is not always there. I hope it improves. It should improve. He should be training extra, all that sort of stuff. I just think James is going to be one of them players that will frustrate from time to time. You know what I mean? Like when James misses a chance or doesn't put the ball in the box, you know what I mean? It's not something where you'd be shocked by. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way we do.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. And he's young as well still, Glenn, so there's plenty of potential there. And I'd hope players like him and Van der Beek, they see what happened with Shaw, came up, you know, bit of pressure from Ollie, bit of pressure on getting that left back position, and he took it. You know what I mean? And now he's probably one of the best left backs in the Premier League. So hopefully that starts to happen with some of our maybe second players like James and Van der Beek. Now, you mentioned Greenwood there, Glenn, and I want to mention him again. Young lad. I'd say Cavani's, you know, some of maybe the stuff he's picked up off Cavani has kind of brushed off on him. But that finish yesterday, crossed the goal, low and hard, unbelievable.
Do you know what, Rory? When I seen him going through on goal, I had every confidence in him to finish that. I really did. Like, I didn't think for 1 second he was going to miss it. And I know some people think, he's waffling, but he didn't, because he can play with his right, he can play with his left. Do you know what I mean? And he's just a natural finisher, Rory. And it's great that I think he done well leading the line yesterday. I think he created that chance for Podga in the first half, which Podga knocked wide. Do you know what I mean? Like, and his decision making at times was very good yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So you'd be looking for that. And I think, you know, look, let's not forget that I don't think it's necessarily a case of when Cavani and Rashford is back that Greenwood will just drop to the bench, because I think, you know, there's positions where Greenwood will just fit in. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be, you know, Greenwood coming in from the bench because we've Sancho and Rashford and Cavani and all that, you know what I mean? And it's great to see a young fella like that take his chance. You know, he's been scoring goals since he got into the team. You know what I mean? It's first game of the season. He's off the mark. And I think, you know, with the likes of Cavani now, like, you know, a year left on his deal, who knows what's going to happen there. But you'll be looking and saying to yourself like that, Greenwood could save the club a lot of money in terms of striking options. I mean, you're looking at Haaland, you're looking at everything that's going for him. You know, 170 million or something, someone in around there. They were looking for him to go this season. That's what would have priced him away in Dortmund, something to figure around that. But you look at it and you're saying to yourself, you know, 65 million could get Haaland to, you know, release clause now next season or something like that next summer. You know, you're going to have everyone in for him, so he's definitely not going to go for 65 million.
I think Bayern are still interested this year, so you don't know what will happen there.
Yeah, you don't know what will happen, but I'm just saying to you, you're looking at Greenwood and you're thinking, you know, he could save us a lot of money. You know what I mean? He could go right to the top. I mean, playing with, like, you know, any player that can play with both feet, especially up in the attacking areas, you know, it's going to go a long way and everything. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm seeing from when he first broke into the team to now a constant rise in his performances. You know what I mean? He's getting better and better. So
big time, and great to see him score, especially after what happened in the Euros and the backlash he got after those penalties. Glenn, just want to go back to McTominay here. So I have a quick quote from Skolsker, from Ollie. Scott is a beast physically. He can run all day, and now he's a proper man out there. I thought he was excellent. And I think what he's saying there about McTominay being a proper man, I think that's what's coming through. He's going to take on that responsibility that maybe was lacking.
He's coming of age, Rory. That's what he means. He's basically saying that, you know, that boy that we had, the kid, is gone. You know what I mean? It's basically like a new signing. You know what I mean? Like he's at that stage now where he should be pushing on to bigger and better things. And he should be the driving force in the middle of the park, along with Podga, along with Bruno, along with Donny, all of them. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to be, you know, a huge player for us, McTominay. And the thing about the likes of McTominay and all is that he's united through and through. He's come through the ranks. It means a lot for him to play in front of the Old Trafford faithful. You know what I mean? In front of 75,000 week in, week out. Do you know that way, Luke? And he didn't disappoint yesterday. But again, as you said, Roddy, it's about consistency. So, you know, although everyone's getting carried away, I'm getting carried away from the result and from the performances of the players. I just want us to keep it going. And obviously, we know every game is not going to be like yesterday. But just if you get the work rate and the desire and the heart that we had yesterday for the next 37 games, we're definitely going to be in and around it.
Yeah. And looking at fixtures coming up, Glenn, I'd say we haven't got it too hard as a start of the season. We've none of the big six, let's say, the other five of them. So Southampton didn't win there yesterday or the other day. So they
just lost a centre back, Rory, as well. They just lost Vestergaard to Leicester as well. You know what I mean? It was a strange one. He leaves and goes to Leicester the day before, I think. You know, they're due to play against Everton. So things are not going well for Southampton. They've been sort of on a steady decline for me over the last couple of seasons. I think this season is going to be a huge struggle for them. Although they are sort of a dodgy team for us over the years. If you even go back to when we played them, when they used to play at the Dale, they've been dodgy for us. But again, you'd expect us to go to, I think it's away, isn't it? I think it's at St. Mary's.
The next two are away, Glenn,
yeah, you'd be expecting us to go there, though, Rory, and put in a performance like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he went there and beat them 3 or 4-0. That's what I'd be predicting.
And that's what we want to hear, Glenn. And I like the nil. I like clean sheets now, I have to
say. That's if there's one thing that went, I don't even say went wrong, but there's the one negative yesterday was not getting that clean sheet. Because I mean, how good. I mean, 5-1 is brilliant against Leeds. You know what I mean? You want to be
Leeds. Because Leeds don't stop, Glenn.
Yeah, they don't stop, Rory. Yeah, they don't.
I mean, they want goals. They're hungry. And you saw Bamford coming off there towards the end, so that they obviously had a point where they said, this isn't going to happen for us. Let's take him off. So then we have Wolves coming up after that. That's away. Newcastle, West Ham, Aston Villa, Everton. And then it's Leicester, you know, coming up in October.
Look, so we should have, I think the 4-6 games, Rory, we should be looking to have at least 16 points out of the 18. I'd say we, you know, drop 2 points somewhere in there. And I know people again will be thinking, what's he on about? No, but I just think, you know, these first 6 games are so important because then we get into October, we start playing the top 4 sides. And you want to have as much points on the board, Rory, and being high up in the table. So, when you get into them games, your confidence is high. And, teams are fearing playing you. You know what I mean? Because let's not make a mistake about it. We sent out a statement of intent yesterday. Even though it's the first game of the season, we sent out a statement of intent to all our rivals. And you look at Man City there today.
I know. I was just going to say, Glenn, sports does us a favour there.
Yeah, no, look, I wouldn't read too much into it as well in terms of it's the first game of the season. They got out to a bad start last season. They came good. They won the league by 12 points. But you've the likes of Guardiola saying that they're not ready yet. That's an excuse, right? You've just paid 100 million for Grealish. You know what I mean? You made him the most expensive British player of all time. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't sound to me like you're not ready. You've Klopp coming out saying he doesn't know how United, have the money to go and spend on the likes of Sancho and Varane. So these managers are already coming out and, getting their opinions across about their own teams and ours. And that to me sounds like a little bit of fear. And if we can capitalise on that, Rory.
And they're playing a mental game now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and but the thing is, Rory, we don't even need to get dragged into that.
Yeah, and I think Ollie's very good at that. He stays positive, keeps away from the drama, and just keeps his head in the game. So, Glenn, I'm over the moon with what's been going on with United. And I'm buzzing for next week now, I have to say. But we have a little something else going on, so we'll kick into that now.
Wonderful run from Giggs! Sensational goal from Ryan Giggs in the second period of extra time.
So, Glenn, this year, me, you, and Ray are doing fantasy football. It's the first time we've done this together. So we set up a league. So I want you to give me your team there quickly. And
quickly?
Quickly. You can go into
it's the first time. Listen, let me get this right. It's the first time we've ever done any type of fantasy football. Can you tell everyone, Rory, and tell me how many times you've been playing fantasy football and how many times you've done it?
Oh, listen, it's not that long, Glenn. It's a few years.
That's 2 years. Go way out of that. Look, it's my first year doing it, and I just wanted to put it out there. I'm going to slaughter you. You know what I mean? Because I know you're a real conservative, not setting it up the other night. Make sure you leave money in the bank and everything. It's just like, Rory, it's not your money, it's not real money, spend it. We're either going to go all out or we're going to not, you know what I mean? And I'm going all out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to win it or I'm going to drop it.
Harry Kane.
Yeah, my team on here.
Harry Kane. Wait till he gets injured, man. 12 million. Then you come back to me and say, oh, no money in the bank.
Yeah.
Go on, what's your team?
Sort it out, Rory. You'll come good. I always do. But yeah, my goalkeeper is Martinez of Aston Villa. That doesn't look like a great one at the moment because they were beaten 3-0 yesterday. But I was thinking about saves. You know what I mean? You want to go 3-2 saves. Was it 3-2? Was it 3-0 when I was looking at it? So 3-2, yeah, that was alright. Then I have as me defenders with Danny Rose because he'll get a lot of playing time at Watford, I feel. Harry Maguire, obviously, he's going to play every game.
Not many clean sheets with Watford, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
As I said, Roddy, it's my first time ever doing it, so you know what I mean? I'm going to make a couple of mistakes.
I'm trying to even it out here a few years on you, so I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a few tips.
Mind games, well. Then I have Twanzebe and I have Luke Shaw as me defenders. Then I have Jota, who scored yesterday. Bruno, obviously got a hat-trick. Maddison and Souček. Souček scored yesterday, didn't you, Rory? Were you saying that to me? He scored yesterday. And then I have Harry Kane, who didn't start today, didn't play in the feature for Spurs, and I have Calvert-Lewin. Your backup goalkeeper is gone. My defender is a Vestergaard from Leicester. Then my midfield, I just put Mark Noble in there, and I just picked Danny Ings on my forward. Obviously, looking at that now, Rory, and reading it out loud, I probably should have done that the other night when I was with you. It probably doesn't seem that great, but I reckon I'll give you
all in the midfield, and you need the top goal scorers come from the midfield. And you have Fernandes in there, so he'll come good. But Jota, if he has a good season, he will. But really, you need Salah in there. So I'll give you mine now. I have Schmeichel in goal. Then I have a cheap L1 who never gets his game, gets a rare game. Kelly in there for Crystal Palace. Then we've Shaw, Rudiger, and Maguire. I'm thinking which one of them out now next week for someone else. I don't know who though. Then Fernandes. I was thinking Alonso actually, because he got a nice free kick there for Chelsea. He seems to be flying up and down that left wing. So then Fernandes, Salah. You have to have Salah in there. Captain this week missed out on Fernandes as captain. But lesson learned. Then I have Souček as well. Mount, always good for the goal at 2. And then Bamford up front with Richarlison. Richarlison scored as well. Then on the bench, Foster, just backup keeper. Tuanzebe, a UA. Is that how you say it? His name? Will always get me. For Crystal Palace.
Him?
Forward. AUE. How? I'm sure, yeah.
Jordan Ayew, was it?
Yeah. I'm crap pronouncing names. As you know, as you well know. And then Romeo for Southampton, who was not getting.
And come here, right? Let me tell you something. Are any of them players you had in the past, or have you had them in the past? Yeah.
Yeah, I say you have. Yeah.
So you know what you're doing, in other words, yeah. So you should be winning this. If you don't, you're fucking shite, yeah. So
it's all about the time you put in. If you miss 2 weeks, Glenn, your whole team could be injured, sent off, suspended. You know what I mean? It's a weekly thing, and if you're not committed, then you're coming last. But so we're gonna go through that every week, Glenn. And when Ray comes back in, we'll get his team, and we put a bit of money in there. We might have a little trophy as well. And then if other people want to get involved, we might even set up another league. Fuck it, sure. Look, it's all a bit of crack, isn't it?
It is, right, yeah.
Yeah, but listen, Glenn, next Sunday, me, you, please God, Ray will be here with us. And we're hoping to get a few guests on, so we'll give you advance notice about when they're coming on. But do follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Instagram as well. And this is live, but you can listen back to it on Podbean, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, wherever you want. There'll be a link in the description. So do tune in then. Glenn, great talk to you as always.
Lovely, Roddy. Hopefully we're talking about a similar result next week, yeah?
Oh, man, clean sheet. That's the only thing.
Looking forward to showing off all my points from that fantasy football. I'm going to be looking forward to going top of the table, yeah? Because once I'm going to be like Mourinho of old. Once I get to the top, that's it. There'll be no knocking me off. Keep that in mind, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully Harry Kane gets the game, yeah? Shows up.
Yeah, we'll see. I have Calvert-Lewin there, we'll see.
Yeah, he got a goal as well, yeah. Not a bad choice. Anyway, bro, talk to you then, right?
Go on, say that to me, go on.